The information at the sides of the government all-party meeting beginning right now. Screens on your screen, pictures from in fact Parliament House where this meeting is being carried out. Prahlad Joshi, Rajnath Singh, Meghwal have reached. Rajnath Singh is to chair this meeting. This is the all-party meeting that is being held by the government just before the Parliament session. Leaders have in fact started to arrive at the venue, which of course is the Parliament House, where the government has called for an all-party meeting. Paulmi Saha has more details on that story. This, of course, is customary, Paulmi, but tell us what really is going to be the House strategy, what else is expected?
Well, yes, that meeting of the government called all-party meeting has in fact started at the moment. Rajnath Singh, Deputy Leader of the Lok Sabha, is in fact chairing that meeting. The Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi is also present, and all parties are in fact represented by the members of Parliament, by their floor leaders in fact in this meeting. The BRS is also present in this meeting. There are various issues, of course, that the opposition parties, will in fact raise before the government. The government, of course, says that it is open to all conversation and open to every discussion. That is what Prahlad Joshi has said in his opening statement at the moment. But the opposition already, it has spoken in the Lok Sabha's Business Advisory Committee meeting, and it has said that it would like to, for instance, discuss the Manipur issue that was raised by the Congress and some opposition parties. What we hear is that the government, in principle and in that moment, agreed. But also, a remark came from the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Mr. Prahlad Joshi, saying that, well, if we discuss Manipur, we'll be talking Bengal too. It remains to be seen, of course, in terms of the various bills that are put up for passage and consideration in both houses of Parliament, because that was something that was discussed in the Lok Sabha. That business was discussed as far as the Lok Sabha BAC was concerned. But right now, of course, we expect the opposition parties to be a little bit more vocal in, of course, presenting some of the issues that they would like to discuss during this session. And the opposition parties that came out of that earlier Lok Sabha BAC meeting did say that we've requested the Speaker to allow for the House to function, that only if the House runs will there be any sort of discussion. And it is, of course, incumbent upon the Speaker to ensure that.
You know, if at all the NCT bill is presented, Paulmi, that's also going to be a test of opposition unity in every sense, given that that was a key condition because of which Aam Aadmi Party decided to be a part of the opposition unity meeting, because Congress said, we support you.
It is, of course, going to be one of the most heated, moments as far as this session, which is expected to be very stormy, because it comes just a few months ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. The countdown to the Lok Sabha 2024 elections are on at the moment. So clearly, you've seen both the alliances now rise up against each other, blow the poll bugle. So it's only going to get more heated in this session, this upcoming session of Parliament, which is to begin tomorrow. So clearly, that will be one of the big, heated points as far as this session is concerned, when that ordinance, the Delhi Services Ordinance, comes up before both houses of Parliament. The Congress, of course, has extended its support to the Aam Aadmi Party. Of course, it remains to be seen, because it's still very tricky as to whether, the Congress will sit in the Rajya Sabha, where, of course, the numerical strength matters as far as the opposition is concerned, whether it will sit in the Rajya Sabha and vote against the bill, or will it walk out and register its protest. So it's one thing to say we will not support the bill, so you don't stay in and vote for the bill, but it's another thing to vote against the bill. But it is speculated that Congress might walk out, and that, if that happens, doesn't support the Aam Aadmi Party in any way. So it remains to be seen. The intricacy and the nuance of how that support is extended will be very interesting to watch, Sneha.
Right. Also, another important factor, because it's a season of alliances being formed and reiterated in that sense, what about fence-sitters in terms of their support to the government? The BJP would be expecting the support of all of those parties who are not, in fact, a part of this huge meeting that the opposition parties had, isn't it?
Well, the BJP thinks that they have the numerical strength as far as the Rajya Sabha is concerned. Lok Sabha, of course, they have brute majority, and that's not the problem area as far as any bill is concerned. It's always the Rajya Sabha for the Bharatiya Janata Party, but they're very confident that together with their allies, they sit at about 112 as far as the Rajya Sabha is concerned, and they're going to get they are hopeful the support of the BJD and the YSRCP as well. They have a good number of MPs as well, and with that, the BJP hopes that they will be smooth sailing as far as any sort of bill is concerned, even contentious ordinances like the Delhi Services Ordinances. The BJP is not worried at all as far as the passage of bills are concerned.
That's right. The government convened an all-party meeting, and we have pictures, in fact, of this meeting right now on your screens. Palmi, be with us. In fact, Preeti is also joining us with the very latest on that. Preeti, we're talking about how the session, again, in terms of the kind of support that pours in, for example, for certain bills, is going to be significant from the point of view of what fence-sitters do. It's also going to give an indication as to in which direction the wind is blowing, isn't it?
Well, which direction the wind is blowing, but if you look at it, Sneha, this is the first time that it will be a direct face-off where the NDA meets India in terms of the alliance which was formed yesterday of opposition parties. And this all-party meeting, expect fireworks, because this is the first time the NDA is going to be face-to-face with India technically, and of course running up to the monsoon sessions. What we are looking at, well, it's a huge task. 21 bills the government hopes to table in just 17 days. In terms of strength, the government does have the numbers. But this will be also, Sneha, and this will be very important to watch, the true test of India, the alliance which was formed yesterday of 26 political parties. On key issues, on key bills, will these 26 political parties come together? This is the moment where India has to put their money where their mouth is. It's all well and good to come up with, these great acronyms, these great alliances on paper, clever names, but when it comes down to actual push comes to shove, which is one aspect of it, of course, is electioneering and fighting elections. The other aspect of it is what happens till then in Parliament. On these 21 bills tabled, do they have each other's back? Do they have each other's support? Where do these 26 parties vote? Will they all come in full attendance and support each other and vote together en masse? Or will some of them stage a walkout and not support a particular political party? I'll give you an example. The Aam Aadmi Party is very wary of the fact that the Congress might have submitted at least before the all-party meet before the opposition party meet in Bengaluru yesterday, that they are going to support the ordinance. But there is an apprehension that instead of being present and supporting the ordinance, the Congress party might stage a walkout in Rajya Sabha. If that happens, then it's advantage BJP. So this is actually the litmus test or the true test before any other, meeting begins, before the, 11 coordinators are put forth. Can these 26 political parties really come together and work together in Parliament? What we are seeing right now on a television screen, Sneha, is an all-party meeting. This is also the first time where the NDA is facing off with India. Expect fireworks in this. Expect fireworks in the 17 days monsoon session. It's a precursor to what we will see start tomorrow for the next 17 days running. But once again, Sneha, to underline, the first litmus test of India begins tomorrow in Parliament if 26 parties can actually come together and support each other where these 21 bills are concerned.
It's also Parliament leaders of all of these 26 political parties, Preeti, will be coming together to have a joint sort of a Parliament strategy, isn't it? That too is something that is expected.
Well, yes, they are going to be, India is technically going to be meeting before the Parliament session, monsoon session begins tomorrow to come up with their own strategy. This is also the first time in a very long time you'll see all these parties come together, because before that, before every monsoon session, there is usually an opposition strategy meet. But the last few times we've always seen, some of the other parties missing. TMC till now had mostly avoided sitting on the table with the Congress and discussing a strategy. This would be the first time that the TMC is going to be on board where the Congress is concerned. We've seen sporadic protests by political parties, some of them not being a part of it, some of them avoiding it. So for the first time, these 26 parties will come together to discuss strategy. And that is where, the smaller fine print will also come into question. The Aam Aadmi Party will push that there should be, full attendance in Rajya Sabha when the bill of the Delhi Ordinance Bill is tabled. If there is a walkout, if there are absentees from other political parties, it will become a grouse where parties like the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, where they have a lot at stake where the ordinance bill is concerned. Vice versa, in other bills also, which the government looks to table. And there are a mammoth 21 of those bills, Sneha.
Preeti, also interesting, like I asked you at the outset, is going to be the role of fence sitters. BSP, for example, may not have great numbers in terms of the strength in Parliament, but parties like the BRS also. These are parties that the BJP and the opposition would be looking at very closely, isn't it, given that it's the time and the season of alliances being forged?
Well, there'll be a fair amount of lobbying, but, I think it will go according to what traditionally has gone down. I would see if the BRS actually has pledged support to the Aam Aadmi Party on an individual basis where the ordinance is concerned. But you never quite know. On maybe key matters, if the fence sitters don't really want to take a stand, you might see them being absentees, or you might see them walking out. But it would be interesting because the BJP is hoping to get certain key players, which till now are not part of the NDA. But, with what our sources are telling us, the likes of JDS, the likes of the Akali Dal, the TDP, will they be able to woo them in their fold, especially when it comes down to voting for particular bills? Well, we'll only know, but one can surely expect fireworks in the next 17 days to come.
All right, I'm going to thank you, Preeti, for the moment, for getting us up to speed with that. Also tracking this big story is Paulami Saha. I'm going to thank her as well for putting that into perspective as to what really is expected when the session finally begins.